I'm blurry. That's not good. What's going on here? Focus on me. How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean Barnes. I want to welcome you back to the Way of the Wolf. If you are watching this on YouTube, which you should be, because it's free and engaging, you will see that I have multiple mics in front of me right now. I actually also have a lapel mic on my collar. Yes, I have a bit of a problem and tend to geek out on the technology, trying a few different mics. I'm actually going to start visiting some guests on the show and actually recording on location at their companies, at their businesses. I'm actually really excited about that here in the near future. But today, I'm going to be talking about the differences between project managers and leaders. Yes, there is overlap in roles and responsibilities here, but I want to talk a little bit about some of the nuances and actually highlight some of my experiences in doing both of these roles over the years. The first thing that I think is most important distinction between these is the leader will ultimately have accountability for the team, for the project, for the initiative, for the integration. It all falls on their shoulders. The project manager plays a crucial role in kind of corralling everybody and pulling them all together and then making sure that everybody understands all of their tasks, all of their duties, and the things that they need to do, what the interdependencies are between all of them, and making sure that there's a correct order of operations and things are done in a timely fashion. So those are the two big, clear distinctions between these roles. It is also important for both to have a vision. The leader's responsibility is to have some sort of a clear vision that they can communicate to the team and make sure that everybody understands what they are doing and why they are doing it. This is a crucial element that is often overlooked by undeveloped leaders. They just think, do what I say, and expect everybody to get on board. And I pay you a salary, do what I say. Okay, well, that works, but on a long enough timeline, it doesn't. You need buy-in, you need support, you need trust. So that leader having a clear vision that everybody understands and can rally behind is crucial. The vision for a project manager is really going to be more singularly focused on that project or initiative with the hopes that it will support the broader vision for the leader and the organization. Okay, the one thing that I do have to stress is crucial is effective communication. We as humans communicate all day, every day, for the entirety of our lives. But what's kind of ridiculous is the fact that we suck at it. We are really bad at communication. We are taught skills in high school and junior high around math and algebra and geometry and things like that, and we're taught how to read, but we're not really developed in terms of how to effectively communicate, how to communicate in different ways to different people to ensure that they truly understand. This is important for both project managers and for leaders to know that when you are working through initiatives, projects, or leading teams, you have to communicate to the people in the way that they need to be communicated to. This seems fundamental for me, but this is something that I've seen some people struggle with. They just bark orders and expect you to get on board. And it can work, but it usually doesn't work well. Let's talk about problem-solving skills. Again, important for both to be able to have these skills, project managers, they're going to have more insight into the minutia, into the details and the specifics around individual tasks and challenges associated with all of them. They should be taking the approach of solving problems at the lowest level first. Your project manager should feel very comfortable having a conversation with a systems engineer and the IT team, and then also going over to the engineer in operations and being able to help bridge that gap, helping them understand what's going on and solve a problem. Now, if there's a significant difference in ideals on how to solve this problem, then you can escalate it up to the leader, and the leader should have enough understanding of the broader organization and what's going on to be able to provide some guidance and answer. But ultimately, both managers and leaders need to understand how to effectively solve problems. Adaptability and flexibility. Now, quite frankly, this isn't isolated to just project managers and leaders. Everybody in your team, everybody in your organization should feel comfortable and trust and know that they can adapt, they can pivot, as long as when they adapt and pivot and adjust, that it still is moving everybody in the right direction. We can, and I've talked about this before, where imagine this is a bowling lane where you have either bumpers or gutters on each side. Let's just say these mics represent bumpers and gutters. The leader, the project manager, they have their lane. They can go anywhere they want to within this lane as long as they don't jump the lane and fall into the gutter, because nobody wants that. That's not fun. Motivation and inspiration. Ooh, yes, I love this topic. Okay, so that's interesting, because the majority of my life, I was that introverted guy that just banged away on my keyboard and didn't really think much about motivation. Oh, Tony Robbins, or is that right? I don't know. Gaskins? No, I don't know. Anyways, whenever it comes to having the ability to motivate and inspire people, this skill in and of itself is probably one of the most important leadership skills that you can have. Yes, all of these other things are very important, but as a leader, having the ability to corral the troops, get them on board, to follow that vision that we talked about earlier, that is a very important skill. Hack here is when you genuinely care about the people on your team. If they are feeling sick or under the weather, or maybe a child is sick, and you go above and beyond and do something kind for them, or maybe they love Starbucks and so you just randomly surprise them with a Starbucks gift card. These little things garner a tremendous amount of trust and respect and admiration, and make it very easy for you to motivate and inspire them to do great things. It is also important for you to have that clear vision that people can understand and they can get behind, they can rally behind. This is something that, again, not a lot of leaders are comfortable with or equipped to clearly articulate their vision, but it is something that is an important skill. Whenever it comes to motivation and inspiration on the project manager side of things, well, that gets to be a little bit more tricky, but if the project manager and the leader are aligned and they both understand what the vision is, the project manager can be that voice. They can be that echo of the leader's vision, and they can kind of propagate it and permeate it through the teams that are working on the project. Because there will be times when everybody gets flustered and frustrated, and they just throw their hands up. They're like, okay, no, I'm done. That project manager that's in the weeds working with them day in and day out, they need to also be able to have the ability to inspire and motivate to get things done when they need to be done. There's always going to be stressors. There's always going to be challenges and issues that come up. That PM that's on the ground with everybody else needs to be able to push them forward. I think that a lot of these skills, as I've talked through them, there's clearly going to be overlap with all of these skills. But what's most interesting to me, and I save this for the end, the strongest project managers I have ever worked with were also extremely strong leaders because they understood the vision. They understand how to effectively communicate. They're able to rally the troops. They're able to drive the projects and initiatives forward. And interestingly enough, in the absence of strong leadership, a strong project manager that knows how to lead can move things forward and get a lot of things done. And I got to add this also, one last thing. As a project manager, you have to learn how to inspire and influence people to get things done when you have no authority over them. I'm flashing back to a situation where I was running a pretty significant project in terms of size and scope and scale. Spent a lot of time at this location. Not a single person reported to me. I had to learn how to inspire and influence them to get things done, even though not a single one of them reported to me. That is what leadership is all about. Some people think that when you get into a leadership role, it's all about barking orders. And again, that can achieve success in short sprints. But as a project manager, if you develop skills around inspiring and motivating and guiding and leading people to get things done when not a single one of them actually reports to you, talk about an incredible way to hone your craft, to hone your skills as a leader. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for the show today. Again, if you are listening to the audio version of this, please go check out The Way of the Wolf at YouTube. And why not do me a favor and leave a review if you are listening to this on the audio platform. I've got a lot of downloads and listens and only 15 reviews. It would mean the absolute world to me if some of you could just take 10 seconds, swipe that 5-star for me, share this with a friend, will really help me out and mean the absolute world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for the show today. Thank you so much, and y'all have a good one.